Russell Brand has broken his silence after being accused of rape, sexual assault and emotional abuse. Brand refrained from posting on social media following the Dispatch's investigation airing on Channel 4 over the weekend, notably not returning to YouTube or Rumble for his usual daily broadcast after his initial denial on Saturday. Has now spoken out about the claims made in the Dispatch's documentary, in which the comic, known as Rusty Rockets, was branded a devil, a groomer and a narcissist by his alleged victims. Taking to Instagram tonight, he said, "Hell, there you awakening wonders. Obviously, it's been an extraordinary and distressing week, and I thank you very much for your support and for questioning the information you've been presented with. By now, you're probably aware that the British government have asked big tech platforms to censor our online content. Some online platforms have complied with that request. What you may not know is that this happens in the context of the Online Safety Bill. This is UK legislation that grants sweeping surveillance and censorship powers and is a law that has already been passed. I also don't imagine that you've heard of the Trusted News Initiative, and now, as often is the case when a word like trusted is used as part of an acronym to describe an unelected body, trust is the last thing you should be offering. The Trusted News Initiative is a collaboration between big tech and legacy media organizations to target, patrol, choke and shut down independent media organizations like this one. We'll be talking about that on our show on Monday on Rumble, but just to give you an idea on what the TNI is, this is a quote from one of their spokespeople, before the screen showed a message which read, "Because actually the real rivalry now is not between, for example, the BBC and CNN globally, it's actually between our trusted news providers and digital platforms." Russell added, "It's clear that these organizations collaborate in constructing narratives, whether that's around the war or the pandemic, and of course, there are other examples. It's very clear to me that we have to be very, very cautious indeed. That's why I'm asking you to follow me on Rumble." Rumble have made a clear commitment to free speech. Rumble is the primary platform that we will be streaming from. We'll be back this Monday, and as usual, we'll be talking about deep state and corporate conclusion and how ordinary democracy is shut down, ignored and avoided. We'll be talking a military-industrial complex. These are able to facilitate and start wars that seem little more to be money laundering operations, and that's with all respect to the hundreds of thousands of victims of numerous ongoing wars in the world at the moment. We'll be talking about the role of Big Pharma and how Big Pharma have been able to influence government policy around the world, and how they've been able to evade due liability and necessary scrutiny, how they've been able to avoid media investigation or perhaps bedo them. And of course, we'll be talking about media corruption and censorship, so please, follow me on Rumble, because that's the only way that we can keep our voice. I need your support now more than ever, more than I ever imagined I would. So follow me, support our channel if you can, if it's within your means, but more important than any of that, is that you please, if you can, stay free. The allegations were made about the comedian, 48, during Channel 4's Explosive Dispatches documentary, which stemmed from a joint investigation with The Times and Sunday Times. Prior to the broadcast on Saturday, September 19, Brand took to YouTube claiming there were serious allegations made against him, which he absolutely refutes and strongly denies. Following the broadcast, remaining tour dates were postponed and a fifth woman claimed to have been sexually assaulted by the comedian. Brand's content on Channel 4 has been removed by the broadcaster following the allegations being made public on Saturday, and the BBC has confirmed that they are looking into allegations of misconduct by Brand during his time working for the corporation as a matter of urgency. The Metropolitan Police on Monday released a new statement following release of the Sunday Times Story and Dispatches program, stating they have now received a report of a sexual assault, which is alleged to have happened in London 20 years ago. Officers confirmed they are in contact with the woman. On Tuesday, YouTube suspended the monetization of Brand's channel for violating our creator responsibility policy. In a statement, YouTube said, "We have suspended monetization on Russell Brand's channel for violating our creator responsibility policy. If a creator's off-platform behavior harms our users, employees or ecosystem, we take action to protect the community." Brand was accused of rape, sexual assault and emotional abuse by 4 women in the Dispatches documentary, which aired on Saturday at 9 p.m. The incidents are said to have taken place between 2006 and 2013. However, the Get Him to the Greek star shared a video statement on his YouTube channel before the program, vehemently denying criminal and very serious allegations he said had been put to him by 2 media outlets, describing it as a coordinated attack. Addressing his millions of followers ahead of the broadcast, Brand said, "I've received 2 extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email. One from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like community festivals should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel." But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks, often very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies. And as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that. Then almost too transparent, and am being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Following Dispatches airing over the weekend, Dame Maria Miller MP, former Culture Secretary and Women's Minister, suggested non-disclosure agreements should be outlawed in the entertainment industry if they have been used to silence people over alleged incidents involving Brand. She told Sky News Politics Hub on Monday that the organizations involved should provide an explanation as to why they didn't have practices in place for people who wanted to speak out. "I think they've got to be held accountable for the way they're treating their staff," she said. "I also want to dig more into some of the comments that were made over the weekend about people not feeling still able to speak out about these instances, and particularly comments from both the BBC and also the talent company, which made me feel that maybe non-disclosure agreements had been used, potentially leading to people being silenced about things which are now patently issues that could be criminal allegations." Asked whether the use of NDAs should be looked at, she replied, "We've seen not only in this case but in other instances where media organizations have routinely been using industry-standard non-disclosure secrecy provisions within contracts that they use when people suffer unlawful wrongdoing at work. I hope this isn't the case here, but if it is, I hope it gives impetus to the government to take action." The MP added, "There's been action taken to stop use of NDAs in universities, and perhaps this instance with Russell Brand, if there are non-disclosure agreements involved, would indicate we need to take the same action to outlaw their use across the entertainment industry too." If you've been a victim of sexual assault, you can access help and resources via www.rapecrisis.org.uk or calling the National Telephone Helpline on 0808 802 9999. Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.
To